What's up, people? Welcome back to another explanation video. This time I'm gonna go over the best endgame weapons per each type. I won't be talking about every single weapons, but I'm only gonna talk about a few. Some of them they're only one, some of them has like one or two or so. So I won't be including everything in the game, but I will make a video for like all the different weapons throughout the entire game, and I'm gonna list as much as possible. That way, so people can know what kind of weapons they'll be looking for and be very helpful. But obviously, I won't name every single weapons in the game. That's too much, and you don't really need it. You only need to, for example, if you only need like normal rate, and then you can use somewhere else from like either like extreme or whatever, like from the DLC, whatever, etc. So I won't be naming every single weapon, but that will be a different video for some other weapons where I don't talk about just the end game. What's up, people? Welcome back to another explanation video. This time I'm gonna go over the best end game weapons for each type. Yeah, I'll be talking about a few weapons. Some of them there's only one or two, so there's not many to talk about. And I will also include Ancient Apostles, the AI weapons. They're still, the best weapons we got, even though they're for AI, so I will talk about them. But I won't be talking about every single swords, all that stuff. I will actually make other videos, talk about each specific weapon types, and some of the weapons you can get throughout this entire game. And it'll be really helpful. But I also won't be naming everything, like that's too many weapons for each type. So just gonna mainly talk about the main ones, where you're gonna get and how you're gonna get it, and yeah, all the way till the end. And that's pretty much it. But for this video purpose, I will talk about the end game weapons. So specifically, one or two ish, maybe three the most, because some weapon has a lot of different ones. And with that being said, let's go over it. Okay, so the first thing I want to start with a sword. Doesn't matter dual wield or one-handed, it's sword. And one of the best weapon is definitely the stainless steel, so there's no doubt about it, especially if you can get the unrivaled passive on it. The sword has a really good strength, vitality, dex, and attack. Obviously, the very important part is the Unrivaled, which gives you a lot more damage. And this sword you can obtain from level 900 Garuda or any Ancient Apostle above 800 to 999. And it's not an easy sword to farm, specifically looking for a single passive. And this is definitely one of the tougher sword to get. And yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is the for the SP Forget Me Not. This one is a very good sword for people who wants a 5-star weapon, and all you gotta do is get the sword from Forget Me Not DLC, and then plus 99. And if you have the renounce or the discount in Centauria low enough, you don't have to pay a single badge for this weapon. You can pick it off from the memory shop, and it will be free. That's why some people are able to get the weapon without actually having a badge. So just do side quests or whatever, just do a bunch of things until you get like 5% or higher discount, and then you can get the sword for free once you max out 99. Forget Me Out, the base version. And this is definitely a great sword to have for a substitution of a stainless steel. If you have this one, use that one, and if you want the other one, get the other one as well. So there's no wrong answer to it. And the next thing I want to talk about is the SP Night Sky Blade. This is definitely one of the best sword in the entire game for your character, and you can only get that from doing love float like full 100 ending. So this sword is really OP, and you have all the stats on it, attack, everything. It's perfect. So there's not much to say about the SP Night Sky Blade. It is definitely one of the best swords in the game. But other than that, the best swords you can get are the AIs as well. But I'm not gonna show every single AI weapons in this video because I already did it once. And if you want to see what they look like, I definitely recommend you to look at the how to get all the 5-star weapon videos to look at every single type and stuff. I mean, I have multiple different videos showing all the Ancient Apostle and stuff, so there's no point for me to show it again. And other than that, all the AIs that use one-handed sword, they're really good once you max out their Ancient Apostles. However, they're AIs. You can't do wheel with it. It's only one-handed sword. That's the only catch about the sword. So that's all I have for the swords in this game. Okay, moving on to the rapier. Now the rapier, the best version you can get in this game is the SP Midnight Ring. So the SP Midnight Ring only drops from level 900 Garuda or any Ancient Apostle above 800 to 999. So I don't think I need to mention that every single weapon, because all the SP 4-star weapons, the best version of it, they drop from the same place. So I'm just gonna go over the weapon without mentioning them again and again. And this rapier has a really high attacks and strength, dex, agility. They're very powerful, and definitely one of the best rapier for your own character. But if you want a better version, the other version is Asna's rapier. That one you have to max her Ancient Apostle, but once you do, you will have the best rapier in this entire game for time being. Yeah, assuming we don't get our 5-star weapons. If we don't, we're probably not gonna have any rapiers better than AI's 5-star weapon. So yeah, for the time being, this is the best rapier in the entire game. And if you're curious about the stats, what they are, feel free to look at like my spreadsheets and stuff, because we have the base stats or whatever the highest we've seen, because it's kind of hard for me to pull out those stats to talk about it. It's gonna be a long time, and just feel free to take a look at the spreadsheet and see what the highest stats it could go to from what we saw, because we update it as in the whole server, and whatever people gets the higher one, they show us a screenshot, and then we'll update the stats. But most of the stats are pretty much what we've seen for the highest. And with that being said, that's it for the rapier. Okay, moving on, the dagger. So the SP Phantasmagoria, that is the best dagger we're gonna have for our character. And the attack is extremely high. All these weapons are extremely high stats, so that's one thing you don't have to worry about too much. But it is kind of worrisome when you want to farm a good one, because it's such a high range, and it's kind of hard to get all of them really good. But the main part is the Sky Dancer on this dagger. That's what makes it great. The 200% damage, and it's really powerful. This dagger has really high dex, agility. Actually, not really high agility, a good amount of agility. And then the attack. Too bad it has a vitality instead of strength, otherwise this dagger will be insane. This is why Silica's dagger is way more powerful. It hits way more because of the strength. So that's what I'm going to talk about, is Silica's dagger. The Silica's dagger from the Ancient Apostle, it is the best dagger for the endgame weapon. So if you want to use her for DPS or debuff or whatever, it works. And this dagger also really good for debuffers if you want to put on any AIs that use dagger and to land a Shadow Stitch. It has maximum special accuracy, but you don't need a maximum. Like I say, 67-ish plus max spawn, you're gonna get the max special accuracy anyway. So with that being said, this is definitely the best dagger for your user in this game. Up next, I got the mace. The SP Waterwork Hammer is actually one of the best mace in the game, and you're definitely gonna see the similar stats, extremely high, 3 different stats, and I don't want to talk about it every time. Besides that, you definitely don't want this passive, because when party is intact, HP regen plus 5%. And it's kind of annoying, because if you want to use do or die, this will, fill up your HP. Even though when it says party is intact, when you're doing this in the arena, it still does. Yeah. So it kind of sucks, even though it says the party is in Dagger by yourself and it still activate. So it's not like you can use it for solo, and that's why I farm for the one that does not have the passive. The combat skill is fine, just not the passive. The problem with it is that majority of the time you're gonna get the passive for this mace, which is annoying. Just like the sword, the stainless steel, you're gonna get the HP regen one whenever you hit. And that really ruins the sword, even if you have really good stats on it. It's usable, but it's not really good when you use do or die. But do or die gives you so much more attack and damage. So definitely, like, the passive is gonna negate the do or die. That's why you don't see me want to, have the passive for some weapons, and they're extremely difficult to farm because of that. I hope the next game they do not put a like terrible passive on just to negate whatever like the good parts are, and it really makes no sense why they would do that or they did that. Maybe they didn't know, or maybe they did it on purpose. Who knows? I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. So the best part is like the maze is very OP. However, if you have the passive, it's okay. But that's why I say I recommend to get the non-passive version. It's okay to get the combat skill, just not the passive. And other than that, this is definitely one of the most OPest maze in the entire game, besides Liz, my favorite. She has the best maze in the entire game from her Ancient Apostle, and that is definitely very, very OP. And other than that, yeah, if you want to use her for DPS or whatever, yeah, you can use her, and she will have the best overall mace in general. So that's pretty much it for the mace category. Moving on, I got the SP core whip, and this whip is definitely the best whip in the game because we don't have anything else. This is it. There's no 5-star or anything, so the 4-star is definitely the best. And it has the passive sublimity, which is the accuracy, and then Zen Fighter. That's a really good combat skill. So regardless which one you want, and passive or no passive, combat or no combat, it's still a very good whip overall with the stats. It just depends if you want to do like whips without using Zen Fighter, then you probably want the accuracy passive. Other than that, it don't really matter, like I said. And the stats goes really high as usual, like the other weapons, and it's a really, really good whip to get, and it's a lot easier to farm than the other weapons because this thing you don't have to look for specific things, just look for the stats. Like I said, if you want a passive, it might be a little bit tough, but this thing does drop quite a bit with the passives or the combat skill. And yeah, there's no other whips in this game until if we do get one, but I don't think so. I mean, the chances are it's really low. Hey, but who knows? But yeah, for the time being, this is the best whip. Moving on, the next thing. The katana, the SP Ancient Azure Wave. This is the best katana in this entire game for your user, because it has overall katana wanted, the strength and agility, even dex. So other than that, the attack is extremely high. It does come with a passive. I think it's the one with a 5% speed and then the cooldown. It is really, really good. Actually, I even forget what the name was, but yeah, it comes with a Swordmaster Plus, and it's really, really good to have on the katana. But it's not necessary. It's good to have if you want to do the Berkolify. It will help you a lot. But you can do it without it. It's just mainly you want the high strength and agility and attack. That's it. And problem solved. This katana it's not super rare. It drops pretty much all the time. Like, I get it pretty much for like a lot of runs, so you don't have to worry about too much. But the only thing you need to worry about is getting the stats. And no doubt, this is the best katana in the game for a user. Now, the next one I want to talk about is Medina's katana. Medina's katana has relatively similar stats, but it has 4 stats. The only thing is just added vitality and stuff. The stats are pretty much similar when it's at max, but Medina's katana is It's good, except you can't use it for some fights. So it kind of sucks. No, nonetheless, you can't use 5-star like these 5-star weapons for Bercoli's ending. That will be so much easier. So nonetheless, you have to get one of these copies if you want to do Bercoli's ending. But other than that, Medina is really good if you can use her for anywhere else. Yeah, so this is the best katana, and Medina is definitely, both are similar and the best katana in this entire game. Okay, moving on, the two-handed. Is there anything else I need to say about the two-handed, especially the 5-star one? Not really. Self-explanatory. It kills everything on the easy mode, really. It's really fun to use, and it's really fun to actually have it. Because it's not simply because it's killing things fast, it actually helps you level up the Ancient Apostles so much easier and get things done. I mean, you can considering the SP Spectral Sword is a cheat code in this game, but pretty much it is. It is pretty much killing things just as fast as anything else in this entire game besides Shine Spam, but it's even faster than that sometimes. So other than that, yeah, this sword there isn't much to talk about besides you can unlock that from the arena, and once you get the ending for the treasure sword, the 8 characters, and plus 99, you get the most broken weapon in this entire game unlocked, and from there you pretty much good to go. The only problem is when you want to use this sword, make sure you have 2 sky dancers on. Doesn't matter if it's a fish belt or anything else accessory. Definitely the best is to have the fish belt with a double passive, but if you don't have that, you can substitute with anything else with the sky dancer on. It still hit us really hard. It's just not gonna hit us slightly more when you're doing like solo or whatever other fights and stuff. So other than that, with that being said, this is definitely one of the best. No, not one of the best. It is the best weapon in this entire game. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the 4-star Demon Blade. The Demon Blade is actually a very good sword to have for substitution the SP Spectral Sword, because this sword is just as powerful with a Sky Dancer. So it has extremely high attack, strength, vitality, dex, don't matter. That's what you really need to look for is the attack, strength, vitality. Accuracy, who cares? When you have Zen Fighter, because when you're using 2H, you pretty much gotta use Zen Fighter for high level, so it doesn't matter. 60 seconds is plenty of time, even if you extend double duration of, you know, what's it called? The duration for the buff time, extend to 12 more seconds, so 72 seconds. It still doesn't really matter, and you can still whoop everything in the game just with the SP Demon Blade. So, yeah, the SP Spectral Sword is an upgrade version, an upgrade version of it, much more powerful. But this one, it's just as powerful, but not as powerful. This one can still shred everything in the game pretty easily. So that's why I say, the 2H's are pretty broken with Sky Dancer. So nonetheless, regardless what you want to look for and what you have, but if you have this weapon, use it. If you don't have the Spectral Sword, don't worry about it. Get that later. But with the SP Demon Blade, you can still kill everything in this game easily with Sky Dancer combo. Moving on to the SP Crystal Spear. Now, this is the best spear we have in this game. It's kind of sad because Spear has so much potential in the game. It's really fun. I always love to use the Spear, especially when it first came out. Holy moly, like that thing is like practically destroying everything. Is just so much fun. You can debuff, kill, whatever, you name it. The only problem with the SP Crystal Spear, I found that the damage isn't that great. For whatever reason, is it probably because of the stats. It's kind of hard, and plus this thing does not have crit. One thing I want to mention is that the weapon does not have built-in dex. You're gonna crit a lot less because dex does affect crit, and if you don't have dex, you're gonna see the weapon itself does not critting as much as weapon with dex. So without that, you have to put some accessory with the dex, even though that it's still not gonna be very effective with a crit. So I was hoping for a 5-star spear, then they will surpass this one. So spear endgame is good, but it's not super broken when it first came out, where it does kill everything in this game. It just does not have the same feeling as when it first released. Moving on, next is the bow, the SP Power Shot bow. Now the bow, honestly, there isn't much to say about the bow besides it was extremely broken when the game first came out, but ever since after that, I don't really want to talk about bow that much. I mean, it's just we got like nothing, like no down multiplier, no good bows. Most of them are trolls. It's just they did bow dirty. Like bow can be such an OP weapon. I mean, it was OP. That's why they nerfed it a little bit too much. I think to the point where they just left out there, just not gonna bother with it. So nonetheless, this bow can still kill level 999 enemies, but it's a lot more difficult compared to all the other weapons and stuff. Since it has no down multiplier, damage isn't gonna be there. But even without the damage multiplier, this bow can still hit like a truck. Just imagine they can double the damage or something. That's what they really should have give the bow. But the other thing is that the stats are just such a troll. You know, Fixed Peer uses agility, but we have literally no bows with high agility. I mean, Star Shatter is like Heaven Striker, yeah, but they're such a lower tier weapons that's in the beginning of the game, and it's not gonna be effective for the end game stuff anyway. So the best way you can look for is extremely high attack, high strength, and high dex. That's it, like nothing else. But like I say, the bow is not terrible in this game. It is good enough to kill everything. I mean, at least kill everything, so that's good enough. So you don't have to worry about like too much. If you're a bow user, yes, you can still kill a lot of enemies in the end game. It's just not as powerful or not as fast. Other than that, the other bow that I want to talk about is Xenon's bow. Xenon's got the best 5-star bows. That's one we really wanted, but we didn't get it. But that's for her. Nonetheless, it's still a very powerful bow if you want to use Xenon as a, DPS, because she definitely got the 4-stat bows and high attacks and everything on that bow. So other than that, yeah, those are the only 2 bows we got in this game. That's it. There isn't much of the end game bows or anything, and some weapon, like I said, there isn't a lot, and that's pretty much it for the bow. Last but not least, the Shield Axe, the SP Decimation Battle Axe, and this is a definitely very, very OP, and this thing has all the stats you wanted, that all the sub perimeter for the Shield Axe. So this is a very, very powerful version of the Shield Axe. Other than that, there isn't much to talk about Shield Axe. Shield Axe is super strong in this game, and you can pretty much kill everything with it for the end game content without any problems. Other than that, it's just the best one you can get is Rogu's 5-star weapon, but good luck getting that, because that one is from Bercoli's ending. Yeah, and it's not easy. Other than that, it's just like Rogu's weapon is not that much, it's higher DPS than this one, but it's not like extremely, it's not like a big jump, but it is higher. And so you can literally use this one, and you don't really need to worry about too much of the Rogu's. I mean, like I say, if you're a collector, you want to get Rogu's, and yeah, go for it. And other than that, Shield Axe is extremely powerful in this game, and it's the way it's supposed to be. You know, like I say, I wish the bow can get a little bit buff, so it doesn't left alone out there, and that's pretty much it. All right, people, that should be it. That's all the best weapons for the end game you can get in this entire game. And like I say, I will make a different video for a lot of different weapons you can get for that specific weapon type. But I'm not gonna include every single weapon, and you're not gonna need that much. You know, you're just gonna go get the one that's most used and most helpful ones, and get those, and then just gradually get to the end, and that should take care of it. And that's gonna be a while because it's like a what, 10 weapons, 11. It's quite a bit. It's gonna take a while. I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna do the dual wheel and the sword at the same time, because you just equip the second one or with other sword. There's no point split those two. You know. So also, yeah, I will be remaking, or not remaking, or updating the weapon tiers at some point. But like I say, one thing at a time. There's still a lot of explanation video I want to work on, and I will get to the weapon tiers later. And in the meantime, like I say, I got other games going on, and taking a break, spacing them out. It seems nice, so I can really rest up and get ready for the next game, because I know when the next game comes out, I'm not gonna have much break. So I haven't been like resting that much for the past 2+ years, so it's okay though. Like I said, it's far from over yet from these AL contents and explanation videos, and I will upload them when I can, and when I space them out a little bit further between each one, so I don't have to upload everyday AL stuff. These videos do take some time to make, so they're not like I can just upload it day by day and all that stuff. So I do have to sit down and think about some of the stuff, and then yeah, from there and go on and other stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time.